Hey, welcome to part 4 of the Mega Man X2 Weapon Master run, where the entire arsenal is put to work as it steadily becomes available. Stay tuned after the gameplay for commentary and explanations. Our fourth special weapon is the legendary Speed Burner. You know the one, the hypest weapon with a plethora of uses, and it's a speedster's best friend. Let's start simple. The uncharged burners may take the backseat like most weapons do, but you'll be surprised that this burst of flame does have some pretty niche usage. It's got decent damage, though there's better options for raw damage output if that's what you're looking for. However, take note of the trails of traveling flame a burner leaves behind. The lingering inferno can indeed deal damage to anything it touches, and if you're especially crafty with it, you can set up burner trails to hit enemies in ways you normally couldn't. I'll post some example clips here since I don't necessarily use burners in that way that much, if at all, in the run. There's one particular boss fight that I'll actually abuse this with, but have patience, my dear viewer. You'll see that when you see it. There's another cool use for uncharged burner, but I need to get into the charged version first. This crazy charge here is paramount to speedruns, but even outside them, I've yet to be convinced that it's not useful in casual play either. Invincibility during the dash will be eternally useful, no matter what type of player you are. It functions as an air dash that not only damages enemies, but it also resets all of your actions upon release. Hell, you could do a normal air dash, release the charged burner, then air dash again. That's where you can fire either another uncharged burner during the air dash, or quickly swap to another weapon to do something silly, should you find it necessary. Charged burner is not for damage alone. It possesses so much utility that no other weapon in this set could feasibly compare. When you can strategically just skip most obstacles and enemies unscathed, it speaks for itself. That's why I said in previous videos that Speed Burner trivializes the game when abused, which is exactly why I won't abuse it in this run. You'll definitely see plenty of usage in this run, but since my goal isn't the fastest clear time, I've reduced how much I rely. But it's also a testament to how almost every Mega Man game has that one weapon that's just way better than the others. In some cases, like the Metal Blades in Mega Man 2 and Storm Tornado in X1, they're brutal powerhouses that overshadow most of the arsenal. In cases like Burner, it's got way too much generalized use and doesn't allow other weapons to truly display what they were made for. No EMS for today, as I announced in the previous part. Let's just move straight to the breakdown. I want to have nice things to say about this stage. you know, if there was enough of it to warrant a meaty breakdown. Now don't get me wrong, I actually quite like this stage. Mega Man games tend to make the fire themed stages fun. I just wish there was more to it because the level design itself is fine. There's barely over 10 enemies in the stage because it's all primarily platforming, and the enemies are kinda just fodder. The closest you get to more engagement with the enemies is the Morgans in the final vertical segment, but clever use of Spin Wheel and our newly acquired Sonic Slicer dispatches of them before they could even become a problem. But I mean, that's really all I've got to say about it, so I'm not gonna linger here any longer than I need to. Let's not forget to support our remixers again today. Zero Shock's Mega Man 7 unused theme used a lot for the bosses, but I still must shout them out for this rad Magma Dragoon remix. Last video, I actually forgot to vocally give Princess Zelda 2020 their props for the DBZ remix I used for Violin, which is essentially the staple Cross Hunter battle theme for this run. Their specialty is more Mega Man 7 style remixes instead of X style, but you bet that I'd use a metric crap ton of their music if I ever do a Weapon Master for Mega Man 7, which is not a guarantee, by the way, don't get your hopes up. Anyway, let's talk about Flame Stag, who's honestly the only interesting thing worth pointing out in this segment. I admittedly dragged the fight out a bit just to make up for that casual stroll through his stage you just witnessed. Dash Lemons actually make this fight a little faster, but hey, we've got the arm part, so why not just play around with him? He's fairly simple to deal with regardless. While his movements may seem erratic, he's actually quite scripted in a way. If you try to follow him constantly, he'll just keep wall kicking, and you'll also run the risk of accidentally ramming into him. But if you simply stay as close to the floor as possible, he'll come back down quickly and not waste a lot of time. While he may land on the floor in different positions, he'll always either reset the jumping pattern, throw mini speed burners at you, or attempt to charge you with his dash. But if you just keep a healthy distance between each other, he'll give you ample time to react to whatever he does. There's also an exploit where you can force him to grapple you on the wall, which will aid in speeding the fight up since he'll immediately make his way back down if he misses. So long as you're repeating the actions that you see me do, you shouldn't have any trouble in emulating this strategy. Just take note that he won't do this all of the time, but it's frequent enough to bank on when you don't have his weakness like I don't have here. That'll do it for today's video. Check out my Mega Man X4 Weapon Master series, which will be in the end card somewhere. Otherwise, check out my playlist page for my various other no damage runs, and stay chill, y'all.